Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Before modern basketball became obsessed with threes and dunks, there was one move that ruled them all: Kareem's Skyhook. It wasn't flashy, but it was the most unstoppable weapon ever created. A motion so simple, yet so impossible to defend, that it became basketball's equivalent of a cheat code. Kareem would turn his back to the basket, glide one smooth step to the side, lift his long arm high above the defense, and flick his wrist in a motion that seemed to scrape the rafters. The ball would hang in the air, tracing a perfect arc that looked like it might touch the ceiling before dropping softly through the net. Defenders knew exactly what was coming, yet no one could stop it. Not Wilt, not Russell, not anyone who tried to challenge him. Kareem scored over 38,000 points, and most of them came from that single, effortless motion. It defied physics, ignored logic, and punished anyone foolish enough to contest it. The move was so dominant that it was never truly replicated, only admired from afar. The Skyhook wasn't just a shot, it was a legacy, a piece of basketball art that proved elegance could overpower brute strength. Michael Jordan. Jordan's fadeaway was basketball's version of poetry written in midair. A moment where time seemed to slow and greatness looked effortless. Every time he backed down a defender, fans knew exactly what was coming. A single dribble, a step back, a turn, a flick of the wrist, and the sound of the net snapping like a whip. But knowing didn't help. His balance was absurd, his timing perfect, and his release untouchable. The move became his safety valve. When the game got tight, when pressure mounted, Jordan went to it, and it never failed. It was born from necessity. As Jordan aged, he couldn't simply blow by defenders anymore, so he built something even deadlier. The fadeaway became his evolution, a weapon that extended his dominance into a second act. It defined his later championships, turning strength into skill, athleticism into mastery. The shot was more than just mechanics. It was patience, confidence, and control. Distilled into a single fluid motion, Jordan's fadeaway was basketball's answer to inevitability. It was grace under pressure, beauty turned lethal. Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson's crossover was the great equalizer, a move that turned a 6-foot guard into a giant slayer. He wasn't tall, he wasn't built like a tank, but when he dribbled, the court transformed into his personal stage. The move itself started simple, one hard dribble left, one quick dribble right, but Iverson's rhythm, hesitation, and body control sold it like a magician's illusion. Defenders bit every time, their knees buckling as crowds erupted. His most iconic victim, Michael Jordan himself. That one hesitation, lightning-fast crossover, and fearless pull-up jumper turned into one of the most replayed clips in NBA history. But Iverson's move was more than a highlight. It was a statement. The crossover was rebellion, wrapped in rhythm, defiance against the system that said he was too small to dominate. He forced the league to respect swagger, creativity, and individuality. Every fake, jab, and bounce had a story, control masquerading as chaos. His crossover didn't just shift defenders, it shifted culture. It made kids in driveways dream differently. Hakeem Olajuwon. Hakeem's Dreamshake wasn't a move, it was hypnosis in motion. In the post, he'd lull defenders into comfort, then destroy their balance in a blink. He'd fake one way, pivot the other, spin, then glide into a soft jumper as his opponent froze. Completely fooled. Every motion looked identical until the final instant. His footwork wasn't just technical, it was art. Watching him work in the paint was like watching a grandmaster play chess blindfolded. Every pivot and shoulder fake was planned 5 moves ahead. The Dreamshake wasn't built on strength or speed, but on rhythm, deception, and grace. It was a weapon forged through patience and precision, where timing mattered more than force. Even elite defenders like David Robinson and Shaquille O'Neal looked helpless trying to read him. Hakeem could fade, spin, or finish softly off the glass, always leaving defenders second-guessing themselves. The move blurred the line between elegance and dominance, beauty wrapped in brutality. He made giants look small and athletes look confused. No one before or after has replicated that perfect mix of grace and destruction. Kobe Bryant. Kobe's turnaround jumper was the spiritual successor to Jordan's fadeaway. The same foundation of footwork and balance, but sharpened with his own edge of obsession. Kobe didn't just imitate it, he weaponized it. Every spin was crisp, every pivot deliberate, every release fueled by that relentless Mamba mentality. He'd catch the ball on the elbow, feel the defender's weight on his back, then explode into a lightning-quick turn, fading away with perfect elevation and form. The ball always seemed to hang for an extra second before snapping the net. It was his answer to double teams, traps, and clutch time chaos. A move he could summon at will, no matter who stood in front of him. Kobe practiced it endlessly, often alone in dark gyms at 3 a.m., chasing perfection shot after shot. Each jumper was art mixed with fury, a statement of precision and pride. Defenders knew it was coming, but they were powerless. The move embodied beauty, arrogance, and control. His entire legacy condensed into one motion. But first, only cool people are subscribed to this channel. So hit that subscribe button before we go any further, because what's coming next gets even crazier. Dirk Nowitzki. Dirk's one-legged fadeaway looked unguardable because, quite simply, it was. At 7 feet tall, fading away off one leg, his release point was so high, it might as well have come from the ceiling. Defenders could only raise a helpless arm and hope, but hope never stopped that shot. What made it mesmerizing was how wrong it looked. His body leaned awkwardly, balance tilted, mechanics bent, yet somehow it was poetry. The ball arced perfectly every time, swishing through the net like it was following a script. Dirk spent years perfecting it alone in cold, empty gyms. Merging the strength of a center with the finesse of a guard, it was his secret weapon. And when the world doubted him, it carried Dallas to an improbable championship over LeBron, Wade, and Bosh. A modern basketball miracle. The one-legged fadeaway wasn't just a move, it was a message. Skill could conquer athleticism, craft could defeat hype. Today, players like Kevin Durant and Luka Doncic still borrow from it, keeping Dirk's legacy alive. He changed what it meant to be a big man forever. LeBron James. LeBron's chase down block wasn't just a defensive play. It was a statement, an exclamation point that defined an entire legacy. Opponents would break free on what looked like an easy fast break, only to feel a sudden shadow racing up behind them. Then came the explosion. LeBron launching from half court like a freight train with perfect timing, hitting the ball against the glass with a thunderous smack that echoed through the arena. The most unforgettable came in Game 7 of the 2016 Finals. Andre Iguodala going up for the go-ahead layup, the Cleveland crowd holding its breath, and then the iconic moment, blocked by James. That single play changed everything. It wasn't just a stop, it was salvation. It embodied LeBron's entire identity. Power, precision, and an unrelenting refusal to lose. His chase downs weren't rejections, they were soul crushers, momentum killers, the kind of plays that flipped entire games. They proved dominance isn't only about scoring, it's about erasing what others think is inevitable. LeBron turned defense into theater, into legend. But Steph Curry's deep three didn't just change games, it changed the entire DNA of basketball. Before him, a shot from 30 feet was reckless, something coaches would bench players for even attempting. For Steph, it became routine. He'd dribble casually across half court, flick his wrist with that smooth, effortless motion, and turn away before the ball even dropped, because he already knew it was good. The crowd's collective gasp, followed by the clean swish, became the new soundtrack of the NBA. His range stretched defenses to their breaking point, forced entire teams to rewrite their playbooks, and turned analytics into religion. But behind the showmanship was obsession. Steph's confidence came from endless hours of repetition. Muscle memory so sharp, it bordered on mechanical perfection. Every shot was practiced thousands of times until it felt inevitable. His deep threes didn't just win games. They birthed a dynasty and reshaped modern basketball. From middle school gyms to pro arenas, every kid now believes they can pull from the logo. Steph made the impossible look effortless, and the ordinary obsolete. Shaquille O'Neal. Shaq's dunk wasn't just a finish, it was pure demolition. When he slammed, the rim screamed, the backboard rattled, and defenders moved aside like they'd seen a storm coming. His power wasn't normal, it was seismic. Shaq didn't outthink opponents, he overpowered them, crushing through double teams with brute force. The drop step dunk, the spin to slam, it didn't matter how you defended it, the result was always the same. 2 points, shattered confidence, and a humiliated big man walking away. His dominance was so extreme, the NBA literally had to redesign basket supports to withstand his destruction. He broke rims, shattered glass, and even broke the will of defenders who dared to challenge him. Shaq's postgame wasn't about finesse. It was intimidation turned into art. The man was a 7-foot, 300-pound wrecking ball who smiled while tearing entire teams apart. Fans didn't come to see him play basketball. They came to witness chaos. He was basketball's natural disaster, unstoppable and unapologetic. No one since has matched that raw, joyful destruction. But not all greatness was violent. Some legends ruled with pure vision and control. Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson didn't dominate with size or brute power. He ruled the game through vision. His eyes were like radar, scanning the floor in real time, processing what no one else could see. His no-look passes weren't just flashy tricks, they were weapons of confusion. He'd drive into the lane with that glowing smile, glance one way, and with a flick of his wrist, the ball would zip the other direction, landing perfectly in a teammate's hands before defenders even realized what happened. It wasn't just basketball, it was theater. Magic turned assists into entertainment, transforming the Showtime Lakers into a symphony of movement and rhythm. Every pass carried intention, every play carried flair. His style redefined what it meant to be a point guard. He didn't just facilitate, he orchestrated. The ball seemed magnetized to his will, bending through impossible angles with uncanny accuracy. Magic's game was joy made visible, a constant reminder that basketball could be as fun as it was competitive. He made the impossible look routine and the routine look magical. And with that, we've reached the end. But if you like this video, consider watching this next one, which YouTube thinks you're going to really love.